And the ethics class is Thursday too, right?
Thursday morning.
Thursday. But you gotta.
Mayor, we're
sign
ready.
Prior to, or you just show up?
Let's go ahead and call to order the Planning and Zoning meeting, August 5th, 2025 at 5:31 PM. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Werner,
Here.
Councilman Gleason,
Present.
Councilwoman Leonard is absent, Vice Mayor Langowski, Mayor O'Connor.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Please stand and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented if there are no changes.
Motion to approve? No, that's on the next one.
This is the P and Z.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilman Gleason. Roll call, Councilman Werner,
Yes.
Councilman Gleason,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
I now need a motion to approve the minutes of our April 12th, 2021 P and Z meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilman Gleason. Roll call, Councilman Gleason,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
We have before us under new business VAR 2025-01, where the applicant is requesting a variance from the city's land development regulations to allow for reduced setbacks for a proposed residential amenity center.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, Osneil Leon, City Planner for the City of Westlake. Before you is application VAR 2025-01. This is a variance application for the Civil Lake Residential Development, more specifically the amenity center. Again, the applicant is requesting a variance to allow reduced setbacks for a proposed residential amenity center. The request seeks relief from minimum required front side and rear yard setbacks. The applicant is also requesting a waiver from Chapter 119 to increase the permitted fence height around the outdoor pickleball courts from 6 to 8 feet. Some background, the subject site has a future land use of R1 and R2 with a zoning of R1 and R2. The master site plan was approved by on May 22nd, 2025. And on June 3rd, 2025, the City Council approved plat phase 1 for this site. Again, the phase 1 includes 133 48 feet wide lots and 161 50 feet wide lots, so a total of 294. And the phase 2 will be a total of 154 lots. Again, the applicant is requesting a front yard setback variance from Chapter 119, which requires a 20-foot setback. The side yard setback of 24.1 and a rear yard setback of 14.5. And these are the areas where the subject setbacks, that's the front, side, and rear. For Chapter 101, 192, the P and Z board should consider and find all serving criteria has been satisfied by the applicant prior to making a motion. Based on staff analysis, we have identified that the applicant meets 7 of the 9 criteria as detailed in the staff report. Be happy to answer any questions, and the applicant also has a presentation.
Mr. Herring.
Good morning or good evening. See if we can get all teed up. There we go. I just press down to go down. There we go. Well, good evening, council members. For the record, Donaldson Hearing here tonight on behalf of GL and the Silver Lake project. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat tonight, but I'll manage to work our way through it. So just excuse my voice. With me in the audience is Mr. Kevin Rattery, one of the senior executives with GL and professional land planner. So he certainly understands and is very active in the design and planning of this community for over the last several years that we've been working on it and bringing it to you. As your staff pointed out, the site plan was approved in June of this year for 448 single-family homes. And in the July meeting, you approved the master sign plan, which included the water wall fountain. And tonight, we're coming before you with an amenity center interior to the community and requesting some relief from the setback criteria of the code. As you're aware, other than the Crestwind communities, there really haven't been any substantive amenities built in any of the communities to date. Minto has done the beautiful adventure park, and there's a new amenity getting ready to start over on Riverbend. But there's nothing been done into the interior of the site. And so we think that this is a great amenity, and it's part of the marketing plan for GL. And we think it provides a great opportunity to provide better amenities and to supplement and augment the amenities that you have here in the cities and the amenities that you will be, seeing in the next year or so. And of course, these will be other than Crestwinds, the first time that pickleball courts have been built for quite some time. And so we think that adds a lot of opportunity to the community. So the amenity center was very strategically located in the center of the community, so it's walkable from most all the residential areas. It's on a terminated vista to the main entrance coming into the site. And one of the things that I'll point out here, and I'll state it again when we get to some larger exhibits, that we were very intentional in the orientation of the individual homes as it related to the amenity center. So this is a 1.3 acre amenity center. And we could have very easily put in 4 or 5 or 6 more lots and sold more homes, but we elected to create something nice with the amenity center. But if you'll notice, there are no homes that back up to the amenity center. So that's by design. The amenity center has a side relationship with all the homes on the sides of the lot, as well as in the rear along the cul-de-sac. And that's very important because we've been very sensitive, and we've used good design principles to basically dictate and inform how we would lay out the amenity center. And that's something that's very important. This is a smaller amenity center. And our position is that the code for amenity centers establishes setbacks. And this is really only other than Crestwinds, this is really only the second time it's been tested. Really wasn't designed to accommodate small amenity centers. The Crestwind amenity center is 9 to 10 acres. It's surrounded by a lake, but it's different. It's highly programmed, highly amenitized, food truck areas, amphitheater areas. This is much smaller than that. And we believe that smaller setbacks are indeed appropriate for a smaller amenity. In fact, we would suggest, as we did in our narrative, that under the current scenario, if developers are forced to live with a 30-foot setback for the sides, the rear, and then a 20-foot setback in the front, in many ways, if you look at how much land that takes out of the site, in many ways, we're discouraging the development of amenity centers. And so we think that what we've done is really appropriate, it's good design, and it's better. So I'm going to go to this is just an enlargement in the same view, but I'll go to this view here, which is a little bit easier, to see, and really walk you through how intentional our design is. So we have a parking area over to the left side there, or the right side as you're looking at it on the screen. And at the end of that parking area is our mail kiosk. That mail kiosk is about 15 feet from the rear property boundary. It's open air. And by design, the mail kiosk is separated from the amenity center because people going to get their mail, it's a quick in, it's a quick out. They're not necessarily there to physically interact with somebody doing fitness or going to a meeting or going to do pickleball. Also, in this design, the entrance to the amenity center is literally right off the parking. So you go into the parking area, you can go straight into the amenity center. And when you go into when you go into the amenity center, there's an open air pavilion And that open air area basically separates the fitness center from some office and restroom areas located on the northern side of the site. So it looks right out on terminated vista, out onto a seating and lawn area, out onto the pickleball courts, and out onto the playground area. So this would be where a mom could actually be sitting in the shade, either on the little activity lawn that we have or inside the breezeway, and literally see everything that's going on and be very cognizant of how everything is flowing within the site. So that's an open air area, and it does have cameras for security. So it does have security cameras in it as a part of our overall design. Our pickleball courts are reasonably set back. We're about 24 feet from the closest property boundary. That would make it almost 30 feet to where the house would be. And again, it's the side of a house. It's a side relationship, not a front or a rear relationship to the amenity. Our experiences, and I'm sure Mr. Rattery could tell you the same, is that typically in these types of communities, the lots closest to the amenity and the lots on the cul-de-sac or the cul-de-sac areas are the absolute first to sell. So people are buying those lots because they know the amenities there and they see value in it. If they're not a pickleball player, they're not going to buy next to the pickleball, or maybe it's a young family who wants to be next to the playground, or maybe it's somebody who works out a lot and wants to be next to the fitness area. So we believe that there are no adverse impacts to anybody. Of course, GL, they're responsible developer. There would be disclosures in any case to make sure that everybody realized that there was an amenity center there. But as it is, when you're looking at a site map, you're looking to find your home. You're going to locate it, in the area where you most prefer to be. This is just the black and white view of the site plan with the technical data that Osno had brought out to you. And then this view is just an architectural rendering of the building. Very, very nice. About 64 square feet. Has a wonderful fitness area as an amenity to the neighbors. The amenity center itself is at least $1.5 million, if not more. I'm sure that's understated, given that it's 3,400 square feet plus the pickleball and the other amenities that we're proposing on the site. Here's another view. This is looking at the back side. You can see the little event lawn where somebody might be sitting out. They would be programmed with tables and umbrellas where parents could sit out, watch their kids on the playground, or watch somebody playing pickleball, but they don't want to necessarily be directly engaged into the game. So I think we told you when we met with each of you individually that from a planning perspective, what we do and what Westlake was always intended to be was to do things that are the best, to do things that are better, to not get so caught up in a technical requirement of a code that we do something that's not the better design. And I think we mentioned to you, we told you in full disclosure that we could develop an amenity center on the site without any variances. But the fact is, it's not as good. The fact is that it's not oriented to the parking. There's less parking provided. It doesn't provide the views to the playground areas. It's just not as functional. And Kevin and I, who've grown up in the planning world for many, many years working together, our approach has always been do what's right, do what's good design, and that's what we've done. So our position is that while the code, if you look at it in its literal interpretation, we're not meeting all of the criteria. But it would be our position that in this particular case, it is the code itself that, as it relates to a smaller amenity center, that is the actual hardship. Because what we're proposing is better. I think is when we came through with the sign, with the water wall, we didn't spare any expense. I think that's like $1.5 million, $2 million. This is the same, and it's all to create a better environment, add more value to the community, add more value to the homes. And so we would respectfully request that you approve this tonight. It does not set a precedent at all. Variances don't set precedences, and because each one has to be looked at on its own merit. And so we respectfully request your approval. Our team is here tonight. Mr. Rattery is more than happy to come up and say a few words if you would like to hear from him. And be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Mr. Herring. Let's open up for council discussion. Do we have any questions from the council? Mr. Vice Mayor,
So I did like this plan better than the first plan after going and reviewing it, but I did have a question. If you can back up 5 slides, go back 5 slides.
Tell me which one. This one?
One more. Nope. One that shows lot 79.
You've got good eyes if you can see lots.
Nope, one more.
One. Here we go, 79, right there.
Okay. So question, it's a little bit different on the plat from Colton Herring, but the tree or the plant line that borders 79. How tall will those plants be and how tall will that fence be? Because if balls are flying over to this person's backyard.
We're requesting a waiver to allow the fence to be 8 feet for pickleball. And we have a solid hedge line there of clusia and palms that are at least, at a maturity, they'll be 10, 12 feet solid, thick barrier as we represented on this plan right here.
and the waiver request for 8 feet is
Just for the,
taller than where's the waiver? It's to make it taller than necessary or shorter than necessary?
well, your code doesn't really address sports courts in the code. And so a standard, anything higher,
5 feet or 6 feet?
code is 6 feet, anything higher than 6 feet,
Okay.
it would be considered a waiver. And so in this case, 8 feet. In the world of pickleball, we do 8, 10, and 12, typically not higher than 12. 8 feet's more human. And then we've got a smaller fence that runs around where the playground is, where children would play.
I just want clarification. Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Yep. The fence, is it going to be something that's a solid material, or is it a chain link fence, or is it?
The fence around the pickleball would be a chain link fence, and often mesh is used around the chain link for additional screening.
Okay.
And if there were ever a noise issue, and we don't think that there would be, there's a material that's out on the marketplace that we use quite frequently called Acoustablock, which basically totally deadens the sound. And I don't know if you've seen that at Crestwinds or not, but it's a vinyl sound absorbing material, and it just totally gets rid of the ping of a pickleball, the ping, and it's just really more of a dud sound. So
Attached to the chain link fence?
attached to the chain link fence.
And then the cameras you spoke about, are they only on the building, or will they be covering the pickleball area too?
They are on the building, but I'll ask Mr. Rattery to.
And the only reason I ask is because there's a concept, CEPTED, crime prevention through environmental design. And I want to be cautious to the natural surveillance that we're limiting by doing not only the shrubbery, but the fence, and then not having any artificial surveillance type within that area.
That was a lot.
Yeah. So, I just want to make sure we balance that out appropriately, because public safety is important to the city council and to the city itself. So I want to make sure that we do have enough, being that the building itself, the breezeway, is not open to the streets to see that natural surveillance. People coming and going on the streets, they would actually have to come into their mailbox to see the what's going on in that breezeway, and then the cameras actually rectified my issue with that. But now we're having a second issue that I have in reference to the surveillance on the pickleball court itself.
Okay, so I'm going to just tell you what my planners told me as to what we do with our traditional recreation. For the record, my name is Kevin Rattery, Vice President, GL Homes. You need my address and all that other stuff, or is that good enough? You need the address? 1600 Sawgrass Corporate Parkway, Suite 150, Sunrise, Florida, 33323. Our planning department, not to be confused with the planners in here tonight, that do all the design, typically put our cameras for interior spaces and covered outdoor spaces. That's our typical camera layout design. We do not typically put cameras on the outdoor recreation amenities for reasons that, they can explain better than I can, but ultimately we do it for the interior space in the covered patio areas.
And just also the landscaping on the interior provides for views into the pickle bar. It's just around the exterior of the residential. Made it very dense so that nobody sees in.
So from the street, they'll be able to see into the pickle.
Yes.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
Wow.
Councilman Warner, any questions?
No questions.
Wow. The only comment I will make is, this truly appears to be one of those variances or waivers that's, it's not being requested in an effort to do cost engineering or save money or cut a corner. It's being requested to do the exact opposite, which is to provide
Better.
something better for the constituents. And I thank you, for that.
You're welcome, sir.
It's great. Let's go ahead and have a motion if anybody would like to make it.
Well, do we have any discussion?
Oh, I thought that's what we're doing. Sorry, council discussion.
No, well, you have applicant out there. I think it's a very nice project. I think the whole project as well as the proposal here, even though I would say that the amenity center is quite small. Living there at Crestpoint, even though it's a much larger facility in a larger community, it too is small. And that's what I hear from the other residents. But in terms of this one, I think the staff has it right. The zoning code requires the applicant to make all 9 of those findings. They've only been able to, according to staff, make only 7 of the findings. The hardship that they're raising is a hardship that's created on their own. It's self-created by their design. And for that reason, I can't support this one. I am a planner. I've been brought up learning what I need to do for variances. There's plenty of case law that requires all findings to be made, but I'll leave it at that.
Thank you for your comment. Vice Mayor, do you have any?
No, I already asked my question.
Yep. Again, I'll just reiterate, this isn't, it doesn't appear to them trying to cram a few extra houses and spaces to really maximize their effort. It's not the airline making the seats as small as possible, get as many seats on the airline. It seems to be the complete opposite. Councilman Gleason, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. That being said, I'd like to have a motion.
Make a motion to approve variance 2025-01.
Did you say it with variance?
Huh?
To approve the variance.
To approve variance 2025-01.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilman Gleason, seconded by Vice Mayor Langowski. Roll call. Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
No?
Councilman Gleason.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to comment. A public comment card should be completed and returned to the city clerk. When you are called to speak, please go to the podium and prior to addressing the council, state your name and address for the record. All public comments will be noted and may receive a response if necessary. Any follow-up will be handled by staff at a later time. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We have no public comments, Mayor.
Okay. If there's no further comment on this item, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 5:55 PM. Thank you. We have 5 minutes.